everybody. It's August 19th and Tuesday, so that means it's time for another chapter of As the Foliage Turns. And as you can see right now, the foliage is turning a little bit on the brown side. You can see the goldenrod at the corner of my yard, not looking too chipper. And this bush back here is getting some red leaves on it. And this is, I'm not sure what kind, it might be an ash. It is, showing a lot of leaves drop on the ground, and you can see that the issue is a problem. Okay, so you can see the issue is drought. I've been talking about this ever since, I don't know, a couple weeks ago when I started doing these at the beginning of August. For the most part, I think we're going to be okay this fall. I'm kind of waiting to see what Jim Salge says from Yankee Magazine. He's their current fall foliage blogger. He's very good at what he does, and I listen to what he says, and so should you. In our drives over the last 3-4 days, the overall everything is still very green, but there are decidedly issues with the drought. I'll be posting a picture hopefully soon. On Thursday, they put out a new one. And down in Merrimack, they had flooding before last weekend. And even on Sunday, we had, about an hour's worth of rain here in Warren, New Hampshire, which is in the western White Mountains. It didn't last as long as I would hoped, but I'm sure it did help alleviate some of the stress. But as you could see from the goldenrod and the brown leaves, the golden leaves, which are turning brown quite quickly, there ought to be a song about that, I think. When my golden eyes turn brown? No, doesn't sound good. Okay, but anyway, aside from that, in general, we're kind of waiting to see what happens overall with the drought conditions. Google Weather and the Weather Channel are telling me that the next 2-3 days are supposed to be on the wet side. That can really help us out. And that's what we really need, although it's kind of critical that we don't get to where we are in August like we are, and we'll see what happens. The coming next few weeks, the temperatures are not terribly high. Tomorrow, I think we're not even going to break 70 degrees here in the western White Mountains, and I think on by later this week, Thursday, Friday, we'll be back up into the mid to upper 70s, definitely. And down the south, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, they're still in the 80s, and I don't foresee that changing anytime soon. The overall picture is, you're not going to like it. It's wait and see. My overall impression, no, I don't do impressions, but my overall impression is that you may run into some brown trees, you may run into some bare trees, but it will not be wholesale bare trees and go home. That's not the way it's going to work. I was talking to a ranger a few years back about anthracnose, which is a fungus that affects the trees on too rainy of a year. We didn't have that problem for the most part this year, although I did find some on a few trees because we had a very rainy spring. But he said, even though it affects maybe 10 or 15% of the trees, we're talking billions and billions of trees across New England, and it's not all one area generally. It is going to be a very small percentage. So my best tip of the day is to move your feet. Very simply, if you go and get back in the car, if it is subpar wherever you are, I don't know where it's going to be subpar. I can't tell, not yet at least. Talk to me the day after, and I'll know exactly where everything is. But right now, I foresee that overall, we're going to have a very pretty fall foliage season. I don't know about certain areas that are in heavy drought, like coastal Maine. Acadia may not be as pretty as we're used to, except for right along the ocean, because you're looking out at the ocean. Not too many trees out there. But right along the coastal Maine is very dry. I don't know if they got any big benefit from the rains that came through on Sunday. They might have gotten a little help, but I don't think it was enough to really put a dent in the levels of drought that we were seeing. On Thursday, I'll try and see if I can't add something here. But in general, look to my Facebook page, the New England Fall Foliage business page that I have for fall foliage, and that will have your the maps, the current charts, things like that. I pay attention to what the weather people out of Burlington, Vermont say, what they're saying over in Portland, Maine, and different areas, Concord, New Hampshire, and just pay attention to what the weather people are telling you. Well, come back in here and sit down with me, and we'll. I can't have a fire right now, or they're a little bit on the restricted side right now. No fires, no fireside chats, at least for right now. Maybe next time, but we will sit down and you can join me here. Oh, yeah, and you can pull up a chair right over here. You come on in, have a seat, and we'll have a good conversation about what the fall colors might be doing. Okay, if you got any questions, leave me a comment. I'll try and answer it. Have a wonderful fall foliage day in New England, or soon to be. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.